Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Kate Arizza. I am the CEO of the South Florida Science Center and Aquarium. Who are you and what job do you have? Well, I just answered that. Kate Arizza. I am a local. I was born and raised here in West Palm Beach, Florida, and I have been working at the South Florida Science Center for almost 11 years now. What does my typical work day look like? My typical work day, since I am the CEO of the Science Center, my typical work day is a lot of meetings. I am off-site representing the Science Center. I talk a lot about the programs we have at the Science Center. I try and raise money for the Science Center. We're a nonprofit organization, so we don't have multi-million dollars. We work very hard for the money that we have, and I'm constantly letting people know the impactful work that we do. What do I enjoy most about my job? Well, I actually love the part about my job that is constantly changing. I'm not the type of person that likes to do the same thing every single day. I like to change it, I like to switch it up, and that's what we always do at the Science Center. We're constantly bringing in what's called blockbuster exhibits. So these are exhibits like the Titanic exhibit or the Bodies exhibit, exhibits that rotate and that really are able to kind of show what was happening during that time period, like the Titanic exhibit. And I book those. I travel all around the world to go and actually see these exhibits before we book them. We book our exhibits about 2 years out into the future. And I love that part about my job at the Science Center and also our programming at the Science Center. Whether it's our technology or our dissections that we're doing, those are also changing too. We do a lot of 3D printing, we do a lot of computer coding, and the fact that we're really always trying to outdo ourselves is really, really fun. Where did you learn about the job that you have now? So growing up here in West Palm Beach, I used to actually come to the Science Center all of the time. Every weekend, my mom would drop me off at the Science Center, which then it was the South Florida Science Museum. And I couldn't drive yet, so she would drop me off. I would volunteer, I would help, I would scrub the fish tanks. I have vivid memories of scrubbing all of the fish tanks at the Science Center. And it was really then that I fell in love with the Science Center. Now, I actually joined the military, and I was in the military for 10 years. But I always knew I was in the Navy. And I always knew that when I got out of the Navy, I was going to come back to Palm Beach County and live, and that's where I wanted to spend the rest of my life. So as soon as I got out of the military, I came to visit the Science Center and see what it looked like. And I asked if they had any job openings, and they did. So I actually started in the education department, and I worked my way up. And I will tell you, from the first day, I was at the Science Center. I knew I wanted to make it my career. I absolutely loved it. I loved the environment. I loved that things were always changing. But most importantly, I loved that the things that we were doing were actually making a difference in the world. And I am a firm believer in that the STEM education and the STEAM education and the programs that we provide at the South Florida Science Center are making a difference. What did you want to be? What did you want to be when you were our age? Well, when I was actually your age, I wanted to be a teacher. My mother is a teacher, and teachers have just been a part of my life. Obviously, I went to public school in Palm Beach County, and I've always had a great deal of admiration. I loved every single teacher that I had, and my mom was a teacher, and I wanted to be one, and that's because, again, I knew I needed to do something where I was making a direct impact in the community, and being a teacher seemed like the best way to do that. What did I learn in elementary school that was helpful to you? You know what I absolutely loved in elementary school? I loved reading, number one. I was the type of kid that could get through like a book in a couple days. I loved reading. I always have. I've had a passion for reading. And I think that's kind of helped me along. And I also loved our school science fairs. I guess that was foreshadowing for my career. I absolutely loved science fairs. I won science fair in 4th grade. I remember it vividly. So those science fairs and just being able to test and do and make a hypothesis and experiment and do all of those demos, it's the same, actually a lot of the same thing we do now at the Science Center. So being able to do all of those things when I was younger, growing up in elementary school, was just really the best gift I could have been given. I always loved the science fairs. And what was my favorite subject when I was in school? Well, of course, science. I mean, science is so cool. It's like an adventure. You have to try and figure it out. You get to do awesome experiments. You get to blow things up. You get to code. You get to build computers. Science is so all-encompassing, and I absolutely loved that. And even today, I mean, the fastest growing careers are in science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So remember that when you are thinking about what you want to do. If you want to make good money and if you want a career that you know is going to last, there's a really good chance that's in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, what we call STEM. So, so when you're thinking about your career choices, there's a lot of good stuff out there, and a lot of them revolve around science. Well, thank you so much, everyone. It was awesome talking to you all, and I hope you have a wonderful day.